All right, before I start my show where I scream at clouds, meal prepping is a real pain in the you-know-what. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it's an incredible amount of work, and you're liable to make a lot of food that is very repetitive. So your big plan to eat well is pretty much submarined after week one. What if you could take all the convenience of meal prep, except you don't do a bit of it and no repetition? That's what Factor meals are all about. Delivered to you regularly, ready to go. You warm them up in some of the greatest tastes you'll ever have. You'll be like, how can this possibly be? It's a perfectly cooked, amazing meal without a ton of calories and all the nutrition and energy I need to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's face it, time is a factor. And if you're short on time, you aren't going to eat well. Forget the time factor. Forget paying too much for getting takeout food. How about something absolutely perfect, ready to go? When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can even change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. This is so set up for you, you're going to love it. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting all that time. Listen, head to factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's right. Code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Do it. Yeah. You thought I was going to be late? I am, but because I had to fix my hair. Yeah, my hair. Welcome in once again to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. And do I have a story for you? Oh, my God. I've got to make sure that I have all of my ducks in a row, first of all, because I don't think I do. To share this story with you. Okay, I do have all my ducks in a row. This is good news. Occasionally, when you're doing PA for the basketball team or the hockey team, you might hear some dreaded words. Hey, there's a young person that wants to job shadow you. See how you do what you do, easy. It's always like, fuck. Because then I always feel like some degree of obligation to, hey, yeah, this is the button that turns on the microphone. And when you push this button and you talk into it, then your voice goes throughout the house and people hear you. This is how you do this, and this is how you do that. And then you got to put up with like questions and stuff like that. Somebody's doing it for like a school project, or who knows. So knowing that going into last night, I was like, fuck, it's going to upset the apple cart, it's just going to. I'm kind of a creature of habit. And as I get over there to my area where I sit, I see like a chair, like there's like an additional chair. Like, that's where whoever it is going to sit next to me. It's way too close. God damn it. Let me cut to the chase on the story and give you a picture of who was seated next to me. Now, before I show you, I came home from the basketball game and I said to Diana, and I go, hey, Diana. And I kind of gave her like the same spiel that I just gave you. I go, look who sat next to me. And she took one look and she goes, what the fuck? What the? Now, if you're enjoying the video live stream, you'll see it pop up right in front of you in a second. I'm about to click it right now to give you a visual look as to who sat next to me. You don't know the person. It's no one that I've ever interacted with. I have no idea who this person is. That you won't be able to guess. You don't know the person. But even though you don't know the person, it's going to put this story into the stratosphere of astonishment of what the fuck? If you are listening to the audio podcast, click on the links in the show note. In the show notes, it'll say, here's who I sat next to her. So I'm like, just click it and look on it. Tyler says, my balls are turning blue. Let's see. A couple guesses for free beer. Someone said Saul. Someone says Julius. No. This is who sat next to me. This is Ruby Arora. She spells it A-R-A-R-O-R-A. She, not that long ago, was Miss Indiana. I know that because, like, as soon as I, like, laid eyes on her, everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? So we started to do background. We started to do intel. Totally stalker-like. And here's the story. By the way, Sarah says, wow, did she look like that too? Let me here she is in Miss USA, Miss Indiana hair and makeup. This is what Ruby looked like last night. Okay. She is a TV anchor on a northern Michigan TV station up north. Of course. It's known as 9 and 10. Anybody who's traveled up north, they have heard of this radio station, this TV station. This TV station is typically one that has people just starting out in their career. They haven't quite gotten their chops yet in terms of experience or delivery. But you get a lot of people like this, young, energetic, but I don't think on a level like this, ever. Okay? Now, she's going places. And her goal is to be a journalist covering the NBA. And I didn't say shit like, oh my God, well, you're going to be a star. I didn't want to be that guy. I just kept my mouth shut. I said, this is going to be a great story. It's going to be a fantastic story. So she, no doubt, unless if she's absolutely horrible in coverage, but I don't think she is, because the way she talked and presented herself and carried herself, she seemed to have that type of likability, I guess, is the way to put it. So this damn story, I come walking into the arena, and Amanda says, hey, did you tell her you had a podcast and she should listen to it this morning? No, I did not speak of the podcast. I didn't say a word. I come walking into the arena, and two of my boys are there. Big Drew is there, and Phil, my boss, and Ruby, and Buckets, the mascot. So, and I walk in, and Buckets doesn't have his gear on. His name's Josh. They're all standing there, and then Ruby. And I'm like, well, one of these things doesn't belong. What is going on? So I kept going because it was so captivating. Like when I saw her, I wanted to stop and say, hey, how's it going, everybody? But really wanting to talk to her. She was like, it was like a gravitational black hole where she like pulls you into it. So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to keep going because she probably gets that shit all the time. I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to sit down. Then next thing you know, they explain how the evening's going to be. Okay, she is here from she's in TV or something like that. No, all they said was she's just a job shadow. So then she sits down next to me, and I go, so what's going on? What career are you getting into? What field? And Linda says, did you ask? Do you know who I am? No, I'll have you know that I kept this as low key as possible, knowing how awkward I can possibly be. And there wasn't one damn thing I said or did that is weird. Nothing. But I'll tell you this. The guys on the comm, on the headphones, and she had a comm on, so she's hearing the conversation. They're all like super helpful, and they're all like, just, it was so embarrassing. Every guy there was like, hamana, 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 hamana. What are those stupid things? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm just sitting there, kept my mouth shut, didn't say fucking shit. But then I did get the background that she's on, that she does a TV thing. Never had a TV job in her life, just out of college. And I just was like, this is ridiculous. My God. Wait until Diana hears about this one. Sorry, I just heard some noise in the background. Sounded like we were being invaded. In fact, when she was introduced to me, Big Drew said, hey, this is Ruby. She's going to take our jobs. And I went, oh, okay. Now, there's no fucking way that's going to happen. But so I'm giving her the third degree. I finally start talking to her about the TV thing. And I'm like, so what do you do at the TV station? She goes, I do the morning show. Now, people who do mornings in TV, if you thought radio, you had to get up early, TV is, it's ridiculous. So I'm having this conversation with her, and I'm trying not to look at her because she draws so much attention just because she looks like no one else in the entire arena. You could have the prettiest girl in the entire arena next to her, and they look like a big fat bag of shit. Okay, she probably has no friends because she's so ridiculous. It's that level. And she has to be at the TV station at 1:30 in the morning. Now, the TV station is 100 miles away from where we are. So her plan is get done with the basketball game. And I go, do you not have to work tomorrow morning? She goes, oh, no, I have to work. I have to be there at 1:30. I go, how are you doing this? She gets done with the basketball game, leaves, drives up north. It'll probably be about 11:30, maybe 12. She says, I'll just get a snack, something to eat, and then off to work. Like, how the fuck do you do this? She goes, oh, well, yeah, that's, and she explains that, be on TV by 4:30 in the morning. Get there at 1:30, on TV at 4:30 in the morning. Do this deal on TV. And then, take naps. Oh, God, fuck, sounds terrible. But you got to understand, at that TV station, you've got a few lifers, okay? And then you've got ones that, like I said, kind of show up for a short amount of time and then move through and they're on to the next big thing. That's her. All right. But I can just imagine some of the ones that aren't going to make it. Like, this is their final stop on the ladder of TV. Who, when someone like her comes in, they're like, oh, fuck. God damn it. So I'm just telling you right now that I predict, because of a lot of factors, not because of unbelievable beauty, But she seems to have her act together, like has the skills to be able to, move up this that business, TV. That she was my job shadow, Easy Rhymes job shadow. So when you see her covering whatever, the NBA on TNT with whoever in 5 years, maybe less, we can go back to this moment right here. Okay? Proud of myself. Did not say anything stupid. I did not fuck up in any way, shape, or form. And then when it was time to go, no hanging around. Just, okay, well, good luck to you. Have a safe trip back. See you later. But all the dudes were like, holy shit. Their jaws had dropped. And I didn't start stalking her until she wandered away. When I say stalking, I was like, I got to know more about this. What's the story here? Why the hell is she here? What's happening? And then I pieced it together. Okay. Tyler says, good thing she didn't have to witness you doing shot clock countdown. Oh, my God. Kenny says the same thing. Amanda makes it gross because she is with so tents were pitched and pants were dropped. Would you stop it? Shut up. When she left like next to me and wandered over to Big Drew to whatever, do something on the court. I'm like, I got to know more. Ruby 9 and 10 TV. The station's called 9 and 10. And then I'm like, okay. And then there's like an Instagram and I click on it and then that is where these images were. And I was like, what the fuck? When I was the short amount of time that I did talk to her, we're talking about where in Indiana. I guess so where are you from? And Ashley says, "How did she get here? Is she Steve's new lady?" I don't know. I think she just realized that, being that there's a G League team, she wants to cover the NBA. She banged on the door and said, "Hey, I can you let me do this?" She's a go-getter, okay? She's different than you. She's a go-getter. And you know what? She didn't have to take her shirt off, Ashley. Sorry. What was I going to say? I can't even. Oh, she says, yeah, I'm from a small town. You've never heard of it. It's called Connorsville. And the thing is, I have heard of it. Diana's grandmother's from Connorsville. And so, I was like, actually, I have. I've been to Connorsville. She goes, yeah, that's where I'm from, small town. Like, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine in a small town like that, you've got this unicorn walking around? My God. Those people would be like, holy shit. It's a good thing she got out of there, though. Damn good thing she got out of there. Tyler says, so Ruby, have you ever heard of the Mr. 10 competition? Oh, God, come on now. So, yeah, she's like the same age as my kids. She's in between Jacqueline and Madison. But it was just hilarious walking into the arena. And I was like, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. In fact, I got to bring in my boy Phil, who is with, you know what? I got a better idea. Let me call Big Drew. Anytime I can get Big Drew on the phone is a win. Broadcast legend.
Easy, what's going on, brother?
Hey, buddy, you're on the podcast. How are you?
I am wonderful. It's another beautiful day here in West Michigan. What can I do for you today, sir?
Thank you for picking up. You're on your way to work?
I am indeed.
All right, buddy. Now, you were there for the basketball game last night, and I was. Can you guess what I would be discussing first thing on my show today?
I have two ideas. One of them, actually, neither of them are basketball related. I'm curious where we're going here.
Okay. Well, try to guess, and I'll tell you if you're correct.
I am going to say that we are talking about one of our in-game cohorts taking their headset off because Phil and I wouldn't stop talking wrestling. But it could be our surprise guest that we had last night as well, who was just a delight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was talking about the second one.
Ah, not surprised. Miss Ruby, a real gem if you ask her.
Did you know anything about Ruby? I gave all the background. I want to see if you know about her background.
Okay.
Are you aware?
No, I know that she had WNBA experience. I know that she has a great head of hair. She had TV hair. But other than that, I did not know much about our friend Ruby.
Okay, so she's on a Northern Michigan TV station, and you know that.
Yep, Cadillac 9 and 10, baby. Tune in right now.
Right. She was Miss USA or Miss Indiana.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. And so, when she walked in there and I saw you guys with her, I was like, boy, she just stood out. One of those things, like, she doesn't look like anybody else in the entire fucking arena.
No.
So we all tried to play it cool, and I think you did a good job. I think Phil did a good job. I know I did a good job. Just keep, trying not to be ridiculous, because it's difficult when you have someone as talented as Ruby was.
Listen, it was difficult trying to explain to her that all of the other guys on the headset were just like drunk uncles at Thanksgiving. They mean well. They're harmless. They're just sweet, sweet old men,
Yeah.
Love them to death.
They really were. And I was like, oh my God. I felt bad. She was like thrown to the wolves with those slobs. Holy shit.
Yeah, I love Phil. I would not have put her on headset last night.
No.
I would not have had a headset on that young lady.
No.
But I will say, I think it kept a couple of those guys a little bit more in line than they normally are.
So, yeah, by the way, because I started to get curious. I was like, what's going on with her? And she left my side and was hanging out with you. And that's when the stalking started. Okay. So then
that's when the Googling happened.
That's exactly right. And she wants to cover the NBA. I think she's the type that will do that rather quickly. Like, I think we saw the beginning of a career, because she's only been on TV for like 2-3 months in Cadillac. We're witnessing the beginning of a meteoric rise to the top. It's undeniable.
Oh, bro, she worked with the Mercury Sun in the WNBA. She has the chops. Honestly, man, Erin Andrews vibes. It's straight up Erin Andrews vibes. Like, she is a future star. If you are in the Northern Michigan market, make sure you're checking her out on your morning news. I think that you will see her at one of our games again. Zane, we're both sports guys. When you have the chance to add an all-star, it doesn't matter if you have the available roster spot or not. You find a way to add an all-star.
Oh my God. It's so stood out. It was like, Jesus Christ. She will be on TV in that town for only a short amount of time and then just take off. I can promise you that.
Oh, dude, Fox 2 Detroit. Fox 2 Detroit all day, every day. I would love her on Wood TV 8 here in Grand Rapids. Would absolutely love her.
That is cool. That is really, really cool. It was interesting to see.
It was a fun opportunity, and I completely understand everything. Like, she is a hustler. She is a woman in sports media, and she knows that she has to push to get her stuff done. I was impressed. I was blown away, and frankly, that was just the talent that she showed and the drive that she gave me. Zane, I'm a big fan of honesty. I'm a big fan of transparency. I said, "Are you here to take my job?" And she said, "Absolutely." And I said, "Come get it."
Oh my God. Oh shit. Well, now I'm worried.
She said she's coming for yours too, so watch your neck, buddy.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll fuck her up. There's no way. Oh shit. Oh my God. That's interesting. Well, when you guys said that to me, I was like, wait a minute. Are they serious? I think they are serious. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Real good. I just wanted to get your take on it because it was so odd to have to walk in and here I am thinking, okay, job shadow. It's going to be some pimply faced kid who's annoying as shit.
Same. Oh my God, same. I gotta have a word with the boss man because when you say job shadow, I'm thinking high school student. I thought I was getting, Alex, one of our interns at the game, and I was prepped for that, and then Miss Indiana walks in, and I have no clue what to do.
Yep. It was
like I was having to hang out with the gold dancers all night. I love the gold dancers, but I feel like when I say hello to them, I'm going to end up in the HR office.
Exactly. And the gold dancers, they didn't want to be around her. No one wanted to be around her. She's one of those.
Everyone was intimidated, bro. Everyone was intimidated. And I'll be the first person to say, absolutely was. She was intimidating, but friendly at the same time if you gave her a chance.
Oh, she's going to knife us both. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, she's going to hear this podcast and stab us in our sleep.
That's exactly right. Well, no, she's going to knife us because she's going to take our jobs.
That too.
All
That's
right.
fine. I've been in this long enough. I've had enough people take my job. If someone's going to take my job, it might as well be someone like her.
Exactly. Well, very good. I will. It's always good to hear your voice. Everybody loves you out here, and there you go. Go whatever. Hope you have a good Super Bowl, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Hey, go Gold, go Ruby, and go Taylor Swift. Why the hell not?
All right. Hey, Drew. Thank you so much, buddy.
Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Peace. There you go. That's the world famous Big Drew. Part of the Ruby Arora saga that will no doubt be talked about for years to come. Ben Glaze says she's okay looking, LOL. When he said she's friendly and intimidating, it's absolutely. I don't get intimidated by anybody. This 20-something-year-old beauty queen just kicks my ass. Just walks in and goes, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, no. Oh, my God. Ashley says Steve Jabara probably flew her home. He wasn't in town. And then she says, this sounds like every job interview feedback I've ever had. Did any of the players make their way over to the table last night? No. Kenny says, how many of the audience looked her up in the past few minutes? He raises his hand. Patrick says, sounds like Drew watched the WrestleMania press conference. I heard about that stupid thing. So dumb. That allowed for them to build the storyline that somehow now The Rock is pals with Roman Reigns and is against Cody Rhodes. And then The Rock smacked Cody Rhodes in one of the lamest smacks I have ever seen in my life. Horrible acting. Horrible. Dumb storyline. All right, we are off and running on this podcast. Thank you so much for being part of it on Facebook, X, and YouTube. But I'm going to kick you out now. I'm going to send you off on your day. Or you can go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app to see the rest of the show. You'll need to give yourself a username there, and then you can participate in the chat, which is always fun. Make yourself at home. Please, you are invited. I would love you to be there. It doesn't cost you anything. You can follow along. You can subscribe. You can do all those things. When you hit follow, you're then notified when I go live. And if you hit subscribe, you avoid all commercials that Amazon or Twitch puts in there during the live stream of the show. Or if you like to just listen later on, of course, there is the audio podcast. You can download it wherever you download shows on your favorite platform. I prefer Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, and review. If you ever want to say hello, drop me a line on email, eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. And then, of course, there's the Patreon, which in and of itself is an entire job. Most of what I put out goes onto the Patreon. Of course, I have this free daily podcast, but there's also the Patreon. An additional podcast every day for another 30, 40 minutes every single day of the week. I should say work day, Monday through Friday. And several other shows that we do that are also equally fun, in a lot of cases more fun. The Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, still the crown jewel, in my opinion, when I team up with my old radio partner, Ben Glaze. We talked about yesterday with his ridiculous suicide stand-up comedy routine with PTSD veterans. That show happens once a week, most weeks, not this week. And then we have Who Are These Zanes, where I review old audio from the radio days with Ben. And then Who Are These Free Beers, where we review recent shows of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. And that's great fun as well. That's all at patreon.com/Eric Zane. In fact, you can sign up for free for 7 days when you go to patreon.com/Eric Zane. You do need to put in a payment form when you go there. But it's free. You can cancel it right after you sign up and you still get the 7 days. So that's pretty much unbeatable. All there, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Before I let everybody on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube go, I need to share one more thing with you. I was just reminded of it. Ben Glaze sent it along to me, as Amy writes, did I miss when fraudulent Patreon will happen this week? We're not doing it this week. We're not doing a Who Are These Zanes or Who Are These Free Beers. We're not doing the Bennett. I'm not doing it at all, just because this week has piled up in an unbelievable way with sports on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And not to mention all my other boring stuff that I have to do. So I actually need to just pull it back a little bit in order to just get that done. No, it doesn't have anything to do with boobs last week. It has to do with time. So we will get back at it next week, Thursday, after a week off, with another Big Fraud Thursday. And we will have an episode of Who Are These Free Beers? Which I wanted to show you this before I sent the folks on Facebook, YouTube, and X off on their day. Ben Glaze sent me a text, and it said, it just keeps getting worse. And I was like, boy, what the hell's he talking about? And he's referring to the Burn King's hair. Yeah, that's right. He's got that comb over going, that mud flap here. And as you can see, it's so absurdly long now that it grows on one side, and then he's able to like flip it over like a mud flap. And wow, I give him credit despite the ridicule that he is receiving. He is sticking with it in a stubborn way. My God. We're not sure who's responsible. If he's like, hey, this is what I'm shooting for, or his wife, the nose, is making him do this. This is part of that free beer change of life thing. New wife, new life, and saying, yes, this is the haircut that looks good. I think this is attractive. We're not sure ultimately what this will play out to when it's all said and done. I'm hoping he's going to start having the same haircut as the lead singer of that band, the Crash Test Dummies. Or that guy, I always thought he looked like that guy from the Safety Dance video. But this is fucking sick. Holy shit. Linda says, I wonder what the former president thinks of it. Rebecca says it looks stupid. Corey says it's a reverse Trump. Tyler says it's the complete opposite of easy sex hair. Amanda says don't stare directly at it or you will go blind. My God. Chris says Safety Dan's guy had nice hair. This is not nice hair. Public Radio Dave says no matter how long his hair is, it'll never cover those DSLs. Now, look, I'm going to post this for the audio podcast listeners so you can see for yourself. Now, I do that with like a lot of risk because, well, it's actually good. I shouldn't say risk. Anytime I post anything about how ridiculous the Burn King's hair looks, his pack of audience, they get so offended on his behalf because I'm making fun of his hair. And they often say things like, he never gets over it. He's not moving on. He's riding their coattails. It's like, you motherfucker, I am doing my job. This is no different than anything I've done for the past 30 years. Every day I do the same thing. All right? This is a perfect thing to talk about. Look at that fucking hair. If his hair didn't look retarded, I would not be talking like this. Brandis says, I am embarrassed on his behalf. Now, people that are making these comments, these are nice people. These aren't people like me. These are people that are like respectful to others. And they're being motivated to say horrible things about this asshole. Kenny writes, kind of reminds me of Macaulay Culkin. Corey says, what are the boys' opinion of Ben Glaze now since he's so connected with you? Ben says they hate me. They do. Ben stole all their drops years ago and put them on my show, and they hate him. And then I guess Freeber said to Ben, yeah, we were thinking about hiring you, but the guys, they don't like you because you stole the drops. By the way, don't believe that, by the way. He was just trying to hurt you. He hates you too. Freeber would call up Ben from time to time whenever something was said or something happened that he didn't like, and he'd scold him. Like the most recent time that Freeber got a hold of Ben to lecture him and scold him was when Ben on the Freeber and Outwing subreddit indicated he had a bunch of old shows. And if somebody wanted to get their hands on the old shows, he'd make them available. Now, these were all shows that were available at one point, like on podcast form. And so, but for some reason, Mudflap here got really, really hurt about that. And he called Ben up to read him the riot act. Okay. Donut Dan talks about Maury's Wig Shop, which is a reference to Goodfellas. A bunch of best ofs is what Ben was going to direct people to. Florida Man says the legendary event where he showed up at the Live at Night. Yeah, Ben actually bought tickets. He bought tickets with Lurch and was hanging out at like a meet and greet or something like that. He bought the tickets. And because Ben was working on my show at the time, they threw him out. And then their boss at the time, Tom Cook, he called Lori, my boss, to complain that Ben bought a ticket and was there. It's like, you bunch of fucking assholes. Florida Man says, wait, seriously? Greg called up Ben to bitch? Oh, more than once. He yelled at him. How dare you? I thought we were friends or some shit. I don't know. Ben says the quote that Tom said when he kicked him out of the event was, game's over, boys. Aram says if Freebeer did a better job of archiving the shit people paid for, there wouldn't have been a need for Ben to save them all. Kenny says Ben should have recorded those calls. Yeah, please do that next time he calls to yell at you. I hope he calls to yell at you for making fun of his stupid fucking hair. Florida Man says, is this where Ben got the, quote, looks like a monster drop? The best moment ever of the WBBL show. I don't know. Ben was his, he did a great job of taking over the drops. That was kind of like the swan song for the drops. People often said to me in this show, hey, man, you got to work in drops. Well, no, you can't. One dude, I mean, occasionally I'll play a clip, but it's not like it used to be. Ben would fire that shit in mid-sentence. I can't be talking and then firing drops on my own conversation. It doesn't fucking make sense. I hate that shit. It's got to be like, I don't know they're coming. And if I'm doing them, then I know they're coming. The only way I could ever have drops is if I had a person dedicated to fucking Fred Norris. I'd have to hire my own Fred Norris. Or my own Ben. Ben says that the looks like a monster comes from the show The Office. That is Kevin from The Office. Corey says, yeah, for it to work, it kind of has to be more organic. Yeah, like I'm carrying on about whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden, it looks like a monster flying in out of left field. That's great. All right. Anyway, I had to put on display this hair of this asshole. My God. To be a fly on the wall, if Greg ever admitted that he heard these rants about his stupid hair, I don't think he does. I don't think Greg pays attention to anything I do, and no one close to him has the nerve to say, hey, he was killing you about your hair. Because that would mean that they have to acknowledge that his hair looks like shit. You know? But Greg generally looks like shit. I mean, I give myself shit all the time about my monster chin, the fact that I'm fat as fuck. I didn't have a lot to work with in the first place. But Greg appears to be going out of his way to make himself look homeless. God damn it. That is fantastic. All right. I talked to Rick this morning. I said, buddy, let's get together and talk some shit coming up on the show. And I was thwarted. He said, no, cannot do it. I am sick. I guess he started puking last night. And so that's that. Ben says he did not steal the drops. He just had them from when I worked with them. Then I threw most of them onto the instant replay. Like he didn't do it like, hey, I'm going to go steal them and put them on this show. He just had his own archive. Corey says you didn't steal them because they didn't even own them. They took them from movies and TV shows. That's correct. There was a couple drops that probably happened on the show that he had that I don't know if they ever saw the light of day, but most of those drops, they weren't their property. They were from TV shows. So Ben, the thing about Ben is it takes a lot to get Ben to respond aggressively. I've never actually seen Ben respond to anything in an aggressive manner. It's not really his nature. It's not his makeup. That's kind of why it works when we're together. Because you got me, I'm a fucking bull in a china shop, and Ben, that's not quite his makeup to tell somebody to go fuck themselves. So I imagine Freebeer sensed that he could bully Ben because of Ben's general demeanor and then went about it that way. It's a total manipulation. All right. Corey says their sense of entitlement is pretty wild, and then it's coupled with them being extremely petty. At the end of the day, nobody was listening to my show when Ben and I were on. Nobody, I mean, it was fucking horribly rated. I liked the show. I thought the show was good. No matter what we did, though, we couldn't get anyone to listen to it. Amanda writes, does anyone feel that is, it says, COVID's over? Okay, I think she means, does anyone feel that COVID is over? Ben could actually go to Eric's house for the Ben and Eric Patreon, where he could use the instant replay again. Yeah, I think he could possibly use the instant replay from where he's at, but I don't know. Actually, the way you really need to do it is with 3 people. 2 people to talk, 1 person to drop in the drops. But we did get away with it with 2, so I understand that. You make a decent point. Kenny says, Amanda, why do we not have an update about last night with Matt Rife? Comedian Matt Rife. Amanda says, because it's Eric's show right now. Look at that. A lot of growth from Amanda. She wants to do the Amanda show, but she can't. So it's just like, you have to stop it. You can't even play the whole drop. Kenny's trying to get her in trouble. He says, that's never stopped you before. No, she's good. She's good. She's doing the right thing. Besides, nobody gives a shit about Matt Rife. Ben says Matt Rife finger blasted Amanda. I don't think that's true, Ben. It's a fucking horrible comment. All right. I'm finally going to kick the folks at on Facebook, X, and YouTube off. Here you go. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Open and live stream of this show. The world famous Ruby Arora show. That's what I can title the show. Ruby Arora. Unbelievable. The open and live stream brought to you today by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Get into your mortgage to buy your house, whether it be your first house or maybe you've done this many, many times. Keep Mario in mind. No matter where you are in the U.S., the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage will work tirelessly for you. Call them at 231-332-6505. While I'm at it, the King's Room Barbershop. 3 locations, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and Wyoming at 821 36th Street next to the costume room. And just down the road from Dumpster Divers. 3 places to get your hair cut. If you get your hair cut at any one of the usual shops, like Zach's, I'm talking to you directly. Those that go to Zach's or Jude's or Lady Jane's or Sport Clips, I want you just once to break away and try King's Room Barbershop. Take the King's Room Challenge. That's something I just made up right there. And get your hair cut. Guys get their hair cut at King's Room Barbershop. Mention my name, please, when you are there. Excuse me. If you go to kingsroom.net, hours, exact locations, it's all there. Kingsroom.net. Grand Rapids Gold got a basketball game coming up on Sunday. Never know who's going to be there. You might even see former gigantic celebrity, future celebrity Ruby Arora. GrandRapidsGold.com is their website. Get a $14 ticket and hang out with me on Sunday. Tickets go up in price, but that's the least you'll pay, $14. Come see me. The Gold have put themselves in a spot to earn a playoff bid. And they started off terribly this year, but they are on fire now. They just took 2 from the Atlanta Hawks affiliate, the College Park Skyhawks, and they were like right next to each other in the standings. So the Gold have really been turning it on. They've been playing great basketball. It was fun to watch and see them win almost every night now. GrandRapidsGold.com for tickets. Okay, EZ has to go tinkle. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, enough of that.
Moneyline Monday.
What the fuck is going on here?
And use that.
Why am I hearing Bill? Special guest joining us on the show. You're going to love this guest. Everybody loves this guest.
Hello?
Pooh Bear.
Yes.
This is your husband.
Hello.
Rumor has it you're at my house today.
I am.
Okay, so what's going on? Like, it's a break? It's a midwinter break?
Midwinter break, today and Monday.
Oh, my gosh. You know, I love it when you're here. You know, it's just nice knowing that there's another person in the house.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just had a long talk with the audience about my job shadow yesterday at the Gold game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you came home and told me about that right away.
What did you think when I said, hey, look who was my job shadow? What did you think when you saw that?
I thought you were pulling my leg. You were kidding me.
Yeah, she wants to be like a host of she wants to be an NBA, cover the NBA, sports journalism.
Yeah, but that has really nothing to do with your job.
Well, she's one of those people who kind of is strong at like networking, I guess. And I've seen people who operate like that before. You know who's like that? Annie Agar. You remember Annie? Mm-hmm. She kind of like got herself exposed to various things. She used to do sideline reporting for the Gold. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw Ruby last night, was that type of trajectory.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Ashley, Hurricane Ashley is in the audience. She says Queen of the Forest is not impressed.
No, well, whatever. You kind of stop worrying after 33 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's like I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm with you. I stopped worrying too. Besides, my ding dong doesn't work anymore, so it's ridiculous.
It works. It just doesn't work.
No,
as efficient.
No, it just doesn't have a third gear anymore.
Yeah.
It's just part of getting old, I guess.
I hear you.
Sucks.
I don't know. Hugh Hefner was able to, produce babies at like 80, and some actor just had a baby at like 75.
Well, this isn't making me feel any better. I can't make babies anymore. If they could, I can't.
I can't make babies anymore either. So there you go.
Well, I know, but that was by decision. You had that stuff removed. Mine just stopped working.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it sure does. It's not. It's actually not happening. That's the problem. It's not happening at all. It's embarrassing. So it is a bummer.
Tyler's yelling at me right now.
Oh, of course. Oh, there she is. Oh, yeah. Why she want?
What? Okay. I don't know what she's yelling at this point.
All right, I won't keep
you. She really never has a reason to yell.
I know. She just does it. It just happens. It just happens.
Yeah, so what's this girl's name? Like,
it's a lady, Diana. Come on.
Okay, what's this lady's name?
Ruby Arora.
Do you think that's her real name?
I don't know.
That sounds like a.
It sounds like a TV name.
It sounds like a porn star name.
Oh, for God's sake! Come on now. You're gonna meet her. You're gonna meet her because Big Drew walked up to her and he goes, I need to know. I'm into transparency. Are you trying to take my job? And she said, yes.
She did?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So
what did Drew say?
Drew come up to me and he says, hey, she's trying to take our jobs. And I thought he was kidding, but then he didn't smile. And I go, well, maybe she is. Well, that's impossible. There's no way anybody's going to take my job. She might take Drew's job, but she's not taking my job. I'll beat her ass.
That's right. And that's not sideline reporting or journalism. Is doing PA anyway. So.
Well, you know how these people are. They come in, they take everything over, and then they leave. You know. Yeah. No, that's not going to happen anyway.
No. She can take a long walk of a short pier.
Wow, I'm surprised you got that one accurate. You actually said it right.
I had to think about it.
Yep. Usually you'll screw those little slogans up or those sayings up and say them inappropriately. There's a comment that the women are turning on Ruby. Do you find that women that look like that look like whatever beauty queens, it's hard to like them? Is that your experience?
No, I don't think it's hard to like them.
Okay, so there's no like pettiness or anything like that, right?
No, I do know there is some pettiness in the sports world, though. Everybody's dogging Caitlin Clark because she's awesome, and saying that she isn't really as good as everybody says she is, even though she's breaking records left and right. But like Cheryl Swoop said, if she breaks my record, it was because of COVID year. She had an extra year to do it. But that's not true. She's in her she's a fourth year senior right now. She might not take the COVID year. She may go into the WNBA.
So that's like people are letting her have it over that, huh?
Yes.
Now that she's like your favorite college basketball player of all time, right? Do you prefer her over that guy Oscar Tshiebwe who played for Kentucky? And I know you loved that guy.
I do love that guy. So he's my male sports guy. She's my female sports guy person.
Okay, but you can only pick one: Oscar Tshiebwe or Caitlin Clark.
That's a tough one.
It's got to be Caitlin Clark.
It probably is Caitlin Clark, but Yeah, it is Caitlin Clark. I'd have to say, yeah, for sure.
I think I just convinced you into that.
No, I think I would say that, but I just know I don't know, but I've read more about Oscar Tshiebwe's personality and humbleness and niceness, so that always is a perk for me. I'm not sure how, and I think she's pretty humble too, but. How
about that clip where that chick from Ohio State ran out onto the court and just lightly bumped into her and she threw herself on the ground when like Jackie was 2 years old?
Yeah, that did happen.
Such a flop.
Well, I don't know how much of a flop it was. It was a little bit of a flop, but it wasn't a whole flop. That did hurt her.
Yeah, it was a total flop. I don't think it hurt her. It was just silly. It was just dumb. She can still shoot the lights out. She's still a fantastic player.
Yes.
Okay. Are we doing a Super Bowl party?
I don't know. Should we?
No.
I think no, we shouldn't.
Well, I don't know. I think it should just be a definite. I mean, a day like we always have on Sunday.
Yeah, just with the family.
Yeah, because that game always starts late, and everybody's got to work on Monday. So Jackie and Justin will want to get home. So.
Yeah, I don't have to work, but.
Yeah, of course, because you're in education.
Eric.
What? What? No, it's true though. What are you doing there? Are you washing the car?
Doing laundry.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay. Very good. I appreciate you as always. Love you to pieces. Oh my God. See you. Oh my God.
What?
That noise.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. I can hear it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Have a good one. I love you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Go, Pooh Bear. Becca says you guys should have us all over for the Super Bowl. Fuck that. No. That is dumb. Ashley says, I should have said, like you, Queen of the Forest. Women that look like you idiot. Missed opportunity for Pooh Bear points. I don't know what you're talking about. The dumb thing to say. All right. I need to send this audio off to the soon-to-be world-famous Ruby Arora. I need to permanently set up this storyline that I saw Ruby Aurora's career in media start. I was there at the beginning, okay? And then she has taken off to new heights, okay? Drew said it best. Aaron Andrews vibes. Aaron Andrews, of course, like the biggest name in the history of women in sports journalism. Okay? In a crowded field dominated by men, to be able to pull that off, that's a big deal. That's exciting. Not Chuck Norris writes, Freebeer and Hot Wings only talks about washing machines here on the Eric Zane Show podcast. We actually get to hear the washing machine. Linda says tag her on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm probably just going to reach out. Hey, here's the audio. This is what we said. So I've made it a point on this show to just basically tell you the story without any gratuitous nonsense, because I don't want to be looked at as like some kind of asshole. I'm just telling you where I was when that all unfolded before our very eyes. And so help me God, if she takes my job, fuck, I'm going to be so pissed. No. All I want is my little minor league basketball team. You're too big for a minor league basketball team. You need to be at the NBA level. That's where you want to be ultimately anyway. You don't want to be in the G League, for God's sake. So get the hell out of here. You know? Donut Dan says you got to get a selfie with her the next time she is at the game so you can use it for marketing. Like I was there at the start. All right. This is getting ridiculous. Enough. All we've done today is talked about a beautiful person, Ruby Arora, and an ugly person, Freebeer. Okay? We had full of talent and lovely. Full of talent and lovely. No talent, ugly. Full talent, lovely. No talent, ugly. All right. Kent says someone put Ruby's hair on Freebeer. Okay, that's a great idea. This pic, or let's see, maybe this pic with this. Can one of you shitty photoshoppers pull this off? That would be awesome. I love that idea, Kent. Ben says, show the 5 years from now Freebeer pick. All right. Meanwhile, hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. I love doing cameos, and I want to do one for you. They're just $20, and they're a lot of fun. I can be as nice or as mean as you want me to be. Thank you to Impact Power Sports. They sponsor me. They sponsor the studio. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com in Rockford, Michigan. When it comes to ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles, Yamaha golf carts, electric bikes, stuff that's fun, you get it at Impact Power Sports in Rockford, Michigan. Shop online or in person today. Walk in, get a bag of popcorn, and start looking at stuff you can buy. Load it up in your toy hauler and off you go. They have a fantastic service department, too, to service the things that you may already have or stuff that you buy. Maybe you need some general maintenance after a weekend of fun. Take it over to Impact Power Sports. Their staff will take care of you. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Talked about Rick earlier. He's a bit under the weather today. TC Paintball. Book your event today at TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. We've got an event coming up on the 18th, so just over a week away. Paintball War number 23, the battle for the Rio Grande. If you want to participate, I need to hear from you. Give me an RSVP. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Tyler, are you coming? Kevin Kuipers, are you coming? Matt Kuipers, are you coming? I need to know these things. How come I every time I say somebody let me know, I don't hear anything? I forgot which one of you let me know that you're coming. One of you did, but I don't remember who. Give me a heads up, either text or email me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. And then I can know how many people we have that will be attending. The Green Medicine Shop, my latest sponsor. I've always wanted a company that sells cannabis products on the show. And I finally have that now. The fly in the ointment is that in Greenville, Michigan, they have an ordinance so that recreational marijuana cannot be sold. That's where they opened up shop, and they had to open up a medical facility. That's where these folks that own the place live. That would be Matt and Shawnee. Shawnee's a pharmacist by trade, and they started the Green Medicine Shop when she started to utilize cannabis after a terrible car accident. Realized the healing properties, the effectiveness of cannabis when it comes to the medical world, and thus they started the Green Medicine Shop. Lo and behold, Michigan goes to recreational marijuana is legal, but they can't actually do it. So the way you have to buy cannabis at the Green Medicine Shop is with a medical card, which is the old-fashioned way. But there's a lot of benefits to buying marijuana or cannabis products medicinally. First of all, you don't have to pay the 10% excise tax. Better quality on the blooms, as it's described to me. Less impurities. They can explain that to you. It's all available on the website, too, thegreenmedicineshop.com. So what you do is you go to that website, you click where it says get a medical card. In 15 minutes, you can have a medical card. It's going to set you back $90 to do that. However, don't worry. You have a $100 in-store credit when you get your medical card the way I just said. So that's taken care of. And then get up to Greenville, Michigan, and buy. Get your 2.5 ounces. Get your edibles. Get your CBD products. And the only way that you can get cannabis products if you're under 21, 18 to 21, is with a valid medical card. So there is a way for those people who are under 21 to get those products, and that's how you do it. You go to thegreenmedicineshop.com. You hit your 18th birthday. You go to that website. You get your medical card. You go. You get your cannabis. You got your $100 in-store credit, and away you go. You have friends for life. Word on the street is our very own Maureen is heading up to Greenville today. She says, I'm going to stop in there and drop your name. All right. Yeah, buy some stuff, too. You're going to need that medical card if you don't already have it. If you already have it, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. You just go buy. Corey says, I would just move the business to one town over. Well, they don't want to do that. But eventually, if this doesn't work or if Greenville doesn't change to recreational marijuana, then they will. But for right now, that's the hand they're dealt. And it's my job to get you in there. So head over to Green Medicine Shop in Greenville, Michigan. Excuse me. Ashley says Greenville prefers recreational meth. I believe that. Not really. I actually like that town. All right. About 2 weeks ago, my brother-in-law, charity scam Mike, reaches out to me. And first he calls, and I let it go to voicemail. I said, hey, he wrote, are you up? No emergency, just an odd story. This is Friday, February 2nd at 10:06 p.m. Said, I'm in bed. I can text or I can talk tomorrow. This is what he wrote, which caused me to immediately stop what I was to get out of bed and call him. I almost died tonight. My truck gave me and Sophia carbon monoxide poisoning after I picked her up from school. She is the special needs young lady. Autistic and Rett's syndrome, not Tourette's, Rett's. Largely nonverbal. Overwhelmingly smell of exhaust in the cam, 2 miles from home. I suddenly got dizzy, nauseated, headache. I was able to pull over and called 911. Ambulances, cops. Crawled out of the vehicle. They gave us oxygen, and we live. Fuck this truck. Turns out the guy that replaced my catalytic converter did it half-ass, and that almost killed us. So I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck? Last night, I sent a news story off to him. After all that crazy shit went down, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That sounds unbelievable. Again, that was on February 2nd. Here we are on February 9th. He's still recovering. I guess he's trying to get to the bottom of what happened with the whole deal with the guy who repaired the truck, how that could have taken place. Don't do it on the cheap. This just happened last night, and I sent it off to him, and he's freaking out now.
It seems like an unusual spot for someone to be poisoned by carbon monoxide, but police in Van Buren County say that's what happened to 2 people and their pets earlier this week.
And they want the community to understand some car malfunctions, they can cause deaths outdoors. Our Marisa Oberly reports.
Pink flowers in shards of broken glass. Small reminders of what Hartford Police Chief Michael Prince calls a tragic accident.
When the officers broke the window, it was very hot inside the vehicle, and they could smell the exhaust fumes very strong.
The 11-year department veteran explains around 8:20 Wednesday morning, his sergeant pulled into the parking lot of a baseball field off Lincoln Street on the city's southeast side to do paperwork. He noticed a car there, too, with a man and a woman ages 19 and 18 respectively inside. But when the sergeant went to check on them, neither responded. Prince says he and a lieutenant performed CPR on both, but the woman passed away as well as 2 dogs. First responders rushed the man to a Grand Rapids area hospital and expect him to survive. They believe carbon monoxide caused the incident.
I think this reporter has poisoning too, because it sounds like her nose is full of it.
There's indications that the vehicle did have an exhaust leak. Exhaust problem. One relative thought that they'd had it repaired.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CO deaths usually happen when the odorless, colorless gas builds up indoors. But Michael McLear with Escape says it can occur outdoors too if a car's exhaust system malfunctions or gets plugged up.
Like my nose.
The best thing to do is if people are in
I can't believe right when I was going to that joke, she actually said plugged up.
their vehicle, making sure, again, they keep
Every local person in this town looks the same.
the vehicle windows cracked.
Automotive industry experts note some vehicles with remote ignitions do shut off if they sit idle for too long, and any issues would likely cause the engine to smell or make a noise. McLear recommends people take their car to an auto body shop regularly.
That licensed mechanic is going to have the ability to
I don't know if it's an auto body shop. I think you want to just take it to like Irvine's, not like a place that's going to put a new fender on.
put that vehicle up on a hoist and do a thorough inspection. So maybe the next time you get your oil changed, have that vehicle gone through, because our roadways and the salt we use on the roadways can be very corrosive. And over time, even with our newer vehicles, exhaust systems can start to get the pit holes.
I'm Marissa Oberle, Fox 17 News.
She sounds like that chick on 95.7. Yeah, that is bad news. Holy cow. Florida man says that's awful. Who the hell would ever think that would happen? Yeah, I didn't know that could happen outdoors either. I guess perhaps it just comes right up to the floor. Corey says, does Michigan require yearly inspections on vehicles? I know not every state does. No, we don't mess with that shit here. We should. I mean, seriously. Agen D2 says, eerie look on 9 and 10 News. Local man had a medical episode, is the theory so far. Crossed center line and special needs sister and bus driver died on the 7th. That's kind of out of left field. Are you checking out 9 and 10 because of Ruby Arora? Is that what you're doing? Watch. 9 and 10 News viewership online spikes to new heights because of Ruby Arora from talking about it on this dumb podcast. He says, no, live up here, LOL. Corey says, in Maine, you have to have your vehicle inspected every year to fit fails. I think he means something else. You don't get your sticker and a cop can pull you over for having an invalid inspection. Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I moved out east, because they do the same thing in New Jersey. Historic story. I moved from Tennessee to New Jersey. Shortly after starting on 105.7 The Hawk and 94.5 The Hawk, or whatever the fuck it was, I'm driving home from work from Princeton to Jackson, New Jersey, which is quite a haul. I'm a mile from home. Cop pulls me over. He says, I pulled you over because you got no inspection there's no inspection sticker on your car. I said, what do you mean? Because your vehicle, it hasn't been inspected this year. You have no sticker. I said, I do not know what you're talking about. I just moved here. Oh, you did, huh? Yeah. How long ago? I don't know, a month ago. He goes, that's too long. License, registration, proof of insurance. So I give it to him, and he says, your registration is from Tennessee. I go, yeah, I just moved here. Okay, well, you should have gotten your registration in the state of New Jersey, and your car needs to be inspected. I go, all right, sounds good. You got it. I'll just take my license and be on my way. And he says, no, that's not happening. Your car is being towed. We are taking your car. I go, you're taking my car? What the fuck are you talking about? He goes, you can't drive this car on the road if it's not registered appropriately and without the appropriate inspection sticker. Have a nice day. He takes my fucking car. So I walk home. And I take my wife's car to work the next day. I tell this fucking story. And the asshole's listening. So this spreads quickly around the barracks. It was, and everybody's like picking sides about who was right, who was wrong. It was a big thing. Eventually it got worked out, which I'll get into that in a second, the headache that was. And we had then eventually, we met all the cops at a bar. We had a big party with this asshole cop. And you could get your picture taken with me and this stupid pig. And it was like a big thing. We actually made lemonade out of lemons. But at the time, it was the worst thing in the world. So then I have to go and pay to get my car out of the impound yard. There's a lot of money. Everything in New Jersey is a bureaucracy and expensive. It's a goddamn racket. Then after I go through all of this headache to get everything in New Jersey style registration and shit, is a huge pain in the ass. They go, okay, you got 24 hours to get your inspection sticker. Okay, what do? You got to take it to like an approved shop or pay for it. Well, then there's like all sorts of like, you got to make a appointment and that's like 2 months behind, or you can take it to a state-run inspection site. So you pull into this gigantic fucking warehouse, and then somebody sticks a thing up the ass of the car, up the tailpipe, to measure the emissions. And then once they measure the emissions, they go, all right, you passed. Here's your sticker. Give us another $200. Okay, thanks. Fuck you. So I'm thinking that's it. All told, this has cost me a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of driving. And then he says, you failed. What do you mean? Yeah, your vehicle's emissions are fucked up. You're emitting too much shit. I go, so what? No, that's how you get the sticker. You failed the test, asshole. Now you got to go get the fucking car fixed. I go, well, how do I know what the fucking wrong with you? He goes, you take it to a mechanic, and then you pay for it, and you get it fixed. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. You got 7 days from this point to get it. Here's your temporary to get it fixed. Oh, my God. So then I had to go and get like a whole new exhaust. It cost like more than the car. And I'm pretty sure I failed it more than once. I distinctly remember that. And then finally we got to a point after like a month and a half of all these extensions and costs and fees. And, oh, it's terrible. One day I'm sitting there in the car where the guy's testing the car and he goes, and he knew me. He goes, guess what, Eric? You passed. Congrats. Here's your sticker. Fuck you. Put the sticker on the car because they put it on the front windshield. They put it on the windshield on the front. And so that's easy to tell if you're driving one way and the cop's driving the other way if you have no sticker. That's the first thing they look for. And if you have no sticker, they're pulling your ass over. Moving to Michigan, where there's nothing like that. We don't have any of that nonsense. We don't give a shit what happens to your car. Everybody just rolls coal in Michigan. Nick says, and the guy's brother who did the testing probably owns the yard. Yeah, that was a disaster. And then when you go to New Jersey, it's a real learning curve. It's like another country. There's that shit. And then you pull in to get gasoline the first time you've ever want to get gasoline in New Jersey. And then you go to get out of your car and some foreign dude goes, do not get out. You stay in your car. How am I going to get gas? I get gas. I pump it for you. I don't want full service. It's not full service. Everything is law. This is law, New Jersey. You cannot pump gas. But I don't want to pay more. There's no extra cost. It's the law. You will not pump your gas. I will pump your gas. Okay. And you don't have to give them a tip or anything. You just say, yeah, fill up 97. They don't even speak any English. All they know is numbers. 87, 89, 90, whatever. Aram says, was the guy Russian? No, that's my nondescript accent of all nationalities at once. It's also the voice of that fucking junk dealer, slave owner in Star Wars, the little guy with the wings who had like the contract on Anakin. Anakin! And it's the voice of my dad. Corey says the inspections are a pain in the ass, but it keeps all the shit boxes off the road. No, Dick, you want the shit boxes on the road. I mean, it's something to pass the time when you're driving. You see somebody with a pile of shit car. No, that's good. Adam says New Jersey sounds stupid. Yeah, it is. It is. There's a lot of fucked up people that live in New Jersey. The short time that I was there, it was like 2.5 years. I learned so much about life living in New Jersey. All right. One of those days. Advertise on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Come on, everybody's doing it. God damn, I'm looking at today. Today alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came at the Ladybug Picnic. 12 beautiful sponsors. I am so lucky to be able to do this show in my pajamas every day for now going on 6 years. It's because of you supporting my sponsors. When you support the sponsors, you keep the free podcast strong. Quite literally, I'll be able to do this to the day I die because of you supporting the sponsors. So whenever you need to engage, please do so and mention me. 3 months out of the year, Troy Ginzer, the tax hobbit, advertises on the Eric Zane Show podcast. I want you to reach out to Tag Accounting to get your taxes done. Online at tagcpa.net. Taking care of clients all across the United States. It doesn't matter where you live. You'll get your taxes done expertly by a certified public accountant, certified in all states. And a very easy process where literally all you have to do is pick up a phone or send an email. And that's the extent. Outside of gathering up your documents and getting them to them over at Tag Accounting, that's it. After they formulate you and put you on the schedule, they let you know when your taxes are going to be done, and then you just wait by the phone on that day. You could be at work while your taxes are being done. Next thing you know, money shows up in your account. Call today, 616-301-9516. They also do payroll and other business type of accounting things. In fact, I take advantage of that. I do this, and I think Mike Ball does this. Our pal Mike Ball with his business at MB Distributing. The Gins takes care of my payroll for the Eric Zane Show podcast. He built me an S Corp. Again, what is that? I do not know. I have no idea. I just know it is the way my show is built. And he's in charge of that shit. He sends me a bill every 3 months. I go, all right, sounds good. Take care of my shit. Tyler says getting my taxes done by the Gins at 5:30 today. Thank you. Love the Gins. Everybody needs to get their taxes done by Troy Ginzer. Brandis writes, pretty sure my beater car is slowly killing me. Smells bad. I'm a shit person for murdering the environment. Hey, fuck the environment right now. Worry about you. We just had that story about those people dying in their car. Come on now. Thank you to Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the show. Find them online at bluefrostit.com. Any type of IT work you need done, and you live in West Michigan, have it done by Blue Frost IT. You can call them at 616-200-8550. If your business needs a tech upgrade, I recommend getting a hold of them and sitting down for a 30-minute complimentary consultation. They'll help you every step of the way to make sure that you are making the right purchase for your business. The Eric Zane Show podcast has a vouch store because I vouch for the products on it. You too can shop on my vouch store, vouch.store/Eric Zane. You can get this in the show notes of the audio podcast. I've got 4 things for sale there. The toothbrush, which is a toothbrush. I've got Split Rock coffee, ground or whole bean. Try my coffee. Also, the Camp Craft cocktails. I want you to buy these and let me know how it goes. So you buy the jar full of the dried fruit. You add your booze. You make your drinks. It's that simple. Try them. You can get a jar for $25, which will give you 16 drinks. Each jar makes 16 drinks. The gin bundle will set you back $75, but that's 48 drinks after you add the rum to these. That's not bad. Not counting the rum, that works out to about $1.56 a drink. And of course, the percussion massage gun. I saw the team trainer for the Grand Rapids Gold had one of these exact things yesterday. It's called the Nimble Accelerate Percussion Massage Gun. And there's a smaller version of it known as the Nimble Express Percussion Massage Gun. These things do a number on your sore muscles, relieve stress, relieve any type of inflammation, things like that. I realize a pricey thing, no doubt, but could make a great gift for Valentine's Day or a birthday present, especially if you live an active lifestyle where you do a lot of training, weightlifting, things like that, maybe running. Great for recovery. Nimble Accelerate and Nimble Express percussion massage guns. Also works fantastic on the elderly. You know, sometimes those muscles get sore, things like that, maybe loosening up the joints. All something that you can take advantage of with these products, and available for sale on my Vouch store. So if you or someone you know or love wants to actually look into something like this, buy it here. There you go. That is my Vouch store. Linda loves her toothbrush. She purchased one. Thank you for that. She says, I need a second one for another bathroom. And then she says, love it. Now, wait a minute now. When you say another bathroom, do you mean at your residence or someone else's residence? Oh? Oh? Wait a minute. Is that a clue, Linda, about something going on? Was that an intentionally applied sly clue? There's something we don't know about. She says, I brush my teeth upstairs and downstairs. Really? Really? Maureen says, let's call her and find out. No, I don't think so. Corey says it's code for anal. Now, that's just ridiculous. Linda reminds me of like a close to the vest type of info person. And I'll just say this. As the world's most renowned sex agent, outside of introducing people to each other and speaking on the behalf of and vouching for, once they're out of my hair, they're out of my hair. Okay? I've introduced a lot of people to each other over the years. And then it's up to the people that are involved to make that happen. And I don't pry. I don't ask questions. That's what a good sex agent does. If someone just offers it up, hey, guess what's going on now between us? That's nice. It's not required. Okay? So, it ends there. It ends there. I have no idea what's going on between Linda and an audience member named Rob, who all I said was, hey, okay, here we go. Here's some pictures. Here you go. And then it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. If you suddenly call me and give me information, again, I didn't ask for that. But just know that I'm on the lookout for you. I'm still on the lookout for Jamie Lemon. I ran into Jamie Lemon the other day, and she goes, I'm mad at you. I go, why? And she goes, because you promised me you would get me a man. I said, I tried. And the man that I thought would have been nice, you scoffed at. And now that man is now talking to, or at least I've introduced him to Linda. And she was like hurt by that. I was like, don't look at me like that. It's not my fault you're as finicky as a cat, Jamie. Rob was just nice enough months ago. He wants to have some companionship. When you get old like us, that's all we're looking for. And, I did my job. And I said to Dan, I go, this is Rob. Send this off to Jamie. No answer. 3 times. No answer. So I said, well, I tried. I did my end of the bargain. If you're not interested, well, there's a million people that would love to meet Rob. So you're out. You're out. I'll keep looking for you, but if you keep deep sixing everybody that I bring to the table, Rob has a lot to offer. This is a professional, upwardly mobile, seems to be really genuine, works well with others. He's a leader. He's got leadership skills. He's made a name for himself in his field. And here you are. And it's not like he's hard on the eyes. I thought he was handsome as hell. I can lead the horse to water. I can't make the horse drink. God damn it. Don't be pissed off at me. So Jamie is about my age. Cute as a button. All right. Super cute. Sweet as peaches. Finicky as my cat. All right. If anybody is interested, I will put on the sex agent hat on her behalf. So I'm still looking on behalf of Jamie. Tyler writes, Jamie deep sixed Rob, and now Rob is deep sixing Linda. I don't, these two don't strike me as that type of aggressive. They strike me as normal human beings. You got to wonder about people who just get together and then immediately start to have sex. I'm always like, God damn, I would not survive in the dating world. If I had to encounter a woman who, the first date, she's like, yeah, jam it in. I'd be like, first of all, I'm going to disappoint you. God forbid if something ever happened to the Queen of the Forest. Because if I was ever in a spot where I would have to date, I would have to explain to whomever that, let's say we're getting ready to have sex. I would have to say, hey, just so you know, my dick's kind of broke. That'd be awful. How embarrassing is that? Chris says, quote, first of all, I'm going to disappoint you. That's so true. So true. I am damaged goods. It's really embarrassing. Well, I hope that doesn't happen. Makes me feel bad. Just a loser. All right. Moving on. There's a lot of stories going around about the demise of radio. In fact, I just heard about a radio company in Canada, a big one. This is freaking ugly. This is there's a guy, a broadcaster out of Winnipeg by the name of Tyler Glenn, who I've introduced you to before. He does a show on Twitch now. A couple years ago, he got the rug pulled out from under him. And a friend of mine in the business said, you should contact Eric. He might be able to help you get something started on Twitch. So we made this friendship, and he's been doing shows similar to this. He writes this. Today, Bell Media, Canada's largest private broadcaster, announced it is selling 45 of its 103 radio stations as it cuts 9% of its workforce, roughly 4,800 jobs, affecting stations in British Columbia, Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada. Head honcho Robert Malcolmson says, quote, "It is not a viable business anymore. This is a business that is going in the wrong direction." So you've got the guy who owns all the radio stations saying radio stations are not a viable business anymore. Oh, my God. What's crazy about that is still he has, 50-some properties that he still owns. And his quote is, yeah, radio is not viable anymore. It cannot survive. Tyler writes, I spent 30 years in the radio industry. Today is a dark day. My thoughts are with the employees and their families affected by these layoffs. See, Tyler was in this boat, and then he figured out that, it doesn't have to be the end of the line for him. But for a lot of people, it is the end of the line. And I'm also thinking of those that continue to do good work in the traditional media space. Like many businesses faced with the challenges of technological advancements, media continues to be impacted by the digital landscape, and I feel there are more changes to come. Tyler writes, but I want to offer hope to my colleagues who likely want nothing more than to digest what has happened and takes time to heal, surrounded by loved ones. So save this thought for another day. When the time comes, and it will, please remember how truly valuable you are, and you don't need a radio or a TV station to tell you that. Your talents and your experience are more treasured than you know, and should you wish, those valuable tools can now be used for your success rather than the shareholders. It's not only possible, it's probable, and it's waiting for you once your healing is done. They're not letting you go. They're setting you free. Sign, Tyler Glenn. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Right in the fact that those people can still make things. And I've often said, and I actually added a comment, I go, they may not realize it right now, but they have all the tools that they have at their disposal. Brain, mouth, mic. That's it. It's all you need. Brain, mouth, mic. Those are the three things you have to have. And this isn't talk. I'm not doing this as a pep talk. I'm doing this to illustrate that's an example of the problems in the radio industry, at least realized by an owner saying it's no longer viable. Now, I don't necessarily believe all of that. I believe some of that. I believe that there is a place for traditional terrestrial radio, provided it's something that you can put on the radio that's a commodity. Usually talk unique talent or unique spoken content like talk radio is one of those. Free beer and hot wings is one of those. As much as I make fun of it on a regular basis, there are still plenty of people who go out of their way to listen to it. And that will probably always be. As much as I bash it for being a huge pile of shit that it is, Some people like that huge pile of shit. But the point is, though I still feel there's viability to it, there's also an entirely different side of people who actually own radio stations that are like, get me the fuck out of this sinking ship. Okay? This story also illustrates that. A radio station in small town Alabama, an AM signal known as WJLX. You know, they probably put on like some syndicated content, maybe some network news. It's all automated. The crop reports, school closings, small town shit on the AM dial. Typically, if anything goes wrong at a radio station, like the station's off the air, there's a alarm, an off-the-air alarm that goes off and lets the engineer know, like the phone rings or something like that happens. If you don't have that, and you should, at the very least, the audience will hear it, hear that there's a problem, and physically call or leave a message or send an email or go to the Facebook, and the message will be heard like, hey, there's a problem. Ultimately, though, you should have the staff of the radio station listen to the radio station. That's taught from the beginning. A, you know what's going on your own radio station that you're trying to sell or program or maintain or make sure that it's running the way it's supposed to. Actually listening to it in a car, online, whatever. All of these things add up to like a safety net in case something goes wrong. Or in the case of WJLX, the landscaping crew that shows up to the tower/transmitter location. That's how the owner of the radio station found out that WJLX was off the air. Let me explain. The radio station does their broadcasting, and then they send a microwave link from the actual physical radio station to something 5-10 miles away where the tower is. In the middle of nowhere, every radio station has one of these, and there's a little shack that's outside of it where the transmitter is. And you walk in there, it's always hot as hell. There's all these racks of equipment and receiving the link and then all sorts of other technical shit. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where those things that are happening at the radio station is then put up the tower and sent out to the masses to hear. The landscaping crew showed up there to take care of the property like they normally did, and they noticed something was wrong. And they looked at each other. They go, "Hey, what's going on here? Are we in the right place?" Yeah, well, we always come here. Of course it's the right place. What the fuck are you talking about? We better call the owner. I'm deliberately being vague. Call the owner. Hey, your tower is gone. What? Yeah, the tower is gone. You've seen these. 200 feet up, guy wires coming off of them to hold it all upright. The tower was stolen. Years ago in Flint, Michigan, Cars 108, their tower was ripped down by a pissed off audience member. It's a big story. Somebody cut the guy wires and then the thing toppled. Well, that happened here, except then they had the time to dismantle the tower. I don't know, to sell the metal. I have no idea. Separate it, put it into equipment, and drive it off the property, and no one knew. Not only that, the door of that shack I was telling you about, they're made out of concrete. It's not a shack. was open. They went in and took all of the equipment, all of the electronics, the transmitters, the microwave, uplink receiver, all this shit. Took it all. Everything is gone. Now, this had to have taken considerable time. Even if it took an hour, which I guarantee you it took a lot more than an hour to get all this fucking shit done. No one heard a thing, thus knew a thing, that there was anything wrong. Quite literally, guy with weed eater in his hand calls the owner and says, guess what? Your shit's stolen. Unbelievable. Look at this. Alabama station in disbelief after 200-foot tower stolen. Landscaping crew went to the site Friday morning for spring cleaning. A crew member called the station's general manager to break the news. He was in disbelief. The second any of those pieces of equipment gets compromised, station's off the air. You cut a guy wire and that tower starts to move, it's supposed to be in that exact same. If it starts to move, you lose reception, let alone stolen. What do you mean the tower is gone? Are you sure you're in the right place? I actually used more colorful words than that, Brett Elmore recounted to NBC News. He said there's wires all over the ground and the tower is gone. Oh, my God. The thieves stole every piece of equipment from the building, including the transmitter. There was a meeting yesterday between the owner and our investigators concerning the matter, said Jasper, Alabama Mayor David O'Mary. At this point, we are still lacking information that we have to conduct a full-fledged investigation. So the reason why I'm telling you this, first of all, it's incredible in its scope, but that the idea that no one knew and the landscaping guy had to inform them that their tower was gone is kind of like an indicator of a bigger problem. There's just no one listening, at least to this radio station. Son of a bitch. Did I just say bitched? Tell your dog I said hi. Megan says, I'm surprised no one on social media said anything. It's because no one's listening. There's no one listening. My God. Kenny says, did they have an order to remove a tower, but they removed the wrong one? No, this is definitely thieves. Holy shit. Kenny says, do you still have the T-shirts that say, who needs radio? Yes, I do. They're still there. I haven't sold a T-shirt in like 2 years, I don't think. I think I sold maybe 100, and a couple got sent back to me by assholes. All right. That is an unbelievable story. I love that story so much. By the way, I'm still trying to get on the radio. Like, easy, how can you possibly do that? Well, it's simple. Okay? I have all of the cards. What do you mean? Explain. Well, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I still have enough viability and popularity that people know me, and there's a value to that. I can use my name and actually be an important part of a radio station. I still believe that to this day. But the difference now is, since I've created this, I don't have to. I could. If somebody said, hey, we'd like you to be on our radio station full time, I would absolutely do that. I would do it in a heartbeat. Now, the only thing that I would have to make sure is that that's a side job. This is my main job. I guess it all depends. As long as they wanted to engage me and have me on there and let me do my thing, and I was able to continue doing my podcast the same way, uninterrupted, and that's just an accessory, something additional to do. That is the only way. I remember when I went from GRD to BBL, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do podcasts because I did 30 shows my first month from my house. And I wanted to keep doing those. They said, no, you cannot. Why? And they didn't give me a good reason. And I could have said, no, I don't want the job, but they paid too well. So I was like, all right, fine. Now, as it turns out, it worked. It didn't work out. And here I am back here. But ultimately, I still would take a radio job. And I would encourage you to listen to it. And hopefully there'd be something valuable that could be gleaned from me doing it. But, well, that's neither here nor there, because though I'm still looking and still waiting, at the end of the day, I still have a radio job. I mean, say what you will, but plenty of people listen to me on 101.3, and I enjoy it. I love doing it from here for my $12 an hour. All right. Thank you, as always, to Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. When it comes to life insurance, do you have yours? Is yours taken care of? If you're like me when I was in my 30s, getting after a 20-year policy is very, very important because you're all in excellent health in your young age. Get after it. Get your life insurance policy to ensure that you and your family is secure. Reach out to Frank Fuss for info on that. Buyinsurancehere.com. That's buyinsurancehere.com. He'll help you get into a life insurance policy today, especially if you're married with little ones. This is in the unlikely event that something terrible happens to you. Get insured today. You, your better half, your kids, insure them all. I'm a big supporter of that. Get more information with my pal Frank Fuss. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. Cannot do a show without mentioning our friends at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. Taking care of your vehicles. Let that story about the leaky exhaust system be a reminder to you. When you take your vehicle into Irvine's for just like, let's say, an oil change, included in that is the inspection. They're going to go over your car with a fine-tooth comb, okay? They're going to give you the green light, yellow light, red light. Green light, oil's changed, looks good. Yellow, this coolant is going to need to be taken care of soon. Red light, you got a problem with your exhaust. You know, they're going to give you that type of thorough look over of the car to make sure that everything is on the up and up. That's one of the things I love most about them. They'll even give you visual proof because they lay it all out in like a document that gets emailed to you. And like there'll be a picture of a hole in the exhaust pipe with a finger pointing at it. This is going to kill you. It needs to be fixed right now. 616-532-6600. They're smack dab in the middle of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Find them online at ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Excuse me. Excuse me. Woo. All right. Last but not least, my friends at A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, I love you. Thank you so much. You've got till the end of February to get your furnace tuned up with Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling. Call Senor Martinez up today, 616-516-8579 to get your furnace tuned up, or if you have any other problems with your furnace, AC, or water heaters, you can take advantage at with A&E Heating and Cooling. Amy writes, Irvine's will let you know that you probably should get new tires after 80,000 miles. Oh, my God. Did that really happen? Stevie says, the only radio I own is in my car. Most people are like that. Concerning tower story, Chris writes, unrelated, local man shows up at scrapyard with approximately 200 feet of radio tower material. Nick in the arena writes, it will never be as good because of censorship. Talking about radio, I guess. By the way, epilogue to a story I told you from Wednesday night's basketball game with the shot clock malfunctioning. Nick was involved in that. He was helping out. He's part of the maintenance team. And I noticed, it dawned on me in yesterday's game that the person that runs the shot clock moves slowly. He's an elderly man. Nice guy, but elderly. And usually once a game, there's a couple moments where the refs are looking at him like, okay, are we going to adjust the clock to what we told you to adjust it to? And it's just moving slow. And, so I looked over at Phil. I said, is there any possibility that the debacle on Wednesday night, this is last night, Thursday night, was operator error? And his eyes light up. He goes, we believe it was. I'm like, what? From what I was told, the Daktronics scoreboard, when plugged in, was somehow triggered into what's known as overtime mode or something like that. And all you had to do was hit a few buttons and it went right back to where we were in the game when the shit hit the fan. We're 95, 98, 99% sure it was operator error on that deal. Oh my God. Poor Nick. They throw him under the bus. Come fix this shit. Poor guy. That brings us to the asshole of the day, brought to you by TC Paintball. All right. Your asshole of the day is Shot Clock Old Guy. Nothing personal. Everybody gets an award once in a while. Nick says, I tried telling him that as he was mashing buttons like a toddler playing Street Fighter. That's going to do it for me. I'll talk to you on the Patreon bonus podcast. Probably going to be a quick turnaround on today, so I'll probably get after it as quick as I can because I have to be somewhere for lunch with two people from a local radio station. That's all I'm telling you. All right. Have a good one. Till next time. Bye-bye.